Man, this show has highs and lows. There are parts that I just love and adore, and then there's parts where I'm just like, is this mid, dude? Is this like fine?
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode activated.
Is this fine? Like, not prestige anymore, in my opinion.
So you didn't like this episode?
I did, but I didn't.
Okay.
But I didn't like it as much as last week's, and I didn't think it was anything like exceptional or legendary. Full disclosure, though, this honestly might be because I'm watching Andor at the same time, season 2 of Andor, and
that's so good.
And I honestly think it's fair to compare the best of studio entertainment against each other. Like, this is HBO's best. This is Disney Plus's best. Like, what do we got? What do we got? And it's like, dude, I just like I'm not feeling the emotions, Gabby. How do you feel?
I really liked a lot of this episode.
Yeah.
I also was not impressed with a lot of the episode.
Yeah.
It was a roller coaster kind of. Yeah.
I like that opening scene.
Yes, that was really just. How long ago did that happen? In the behind the scenes, they implied that it was a long time ago.
So full disclosure, I'm no longer watching the behind the scenes because I don't like hearing Craig Mazin talk down to me. Straight up, I'm out.
You don't?
No.
Wait, what do you mean you don't?
Today, I'm just like, dude, I'm out. I'm not gonna watch the behind the scenes anymore. Craig Mazin is basically just like, so what if somebody killed your dad? How would that make you feel? How would you feel about that? And that's what we're going to explore on this journey. It's just, I'm done. I don't want to hear it anymore.
But Huber,
I'm
remember,
done.
that behind the scenes is for people who have never played the game. That's why he's talking like that.
That's fair. It's not for me then. It's not for me.
I like hearing people talk about the process. Like the guy, oh, come on, Huber. The guy last week, the set designer.
He's the best.
Who was talking about the sets and
10
stuff.
out of 10, Gabby.
Like,
10
come
out of 10.
on.
For sure. 10 out of 10. Was he in this one?
No,
VFX
there was
guy?
another cool guy.
Oh,
The director was in this one, and he was really cool. Stephen Williams.
Cool. Yeah. Just, I don't know. I didn't want to like turn on him and turn on the show. So I was like, I'm starting to be kind of annoyed by these behind the scenes. So I'm going to like.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I think they're so. That's like almost my favorite part sometimes is like.
Yeah.
Seeing. Yeah.
So, but we get that, opening scene. And that's a great question, Gabby, of like, how long ago was this? Clearly like early Outbreak is my feeling there.
I don't think so.
In the game, they talk, and she even referenced it too, about how like the hospital was like ground zero for the outbreak. And that's why there's so much crazy shit down there. So when they went in is unclear, but like that hospital has been like ground zero for the Seattle outbreak.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. In the behind the scenes, sorry to bring it up.
Bring it up. No, bring it up. Educate us.
Trigger warning behind the scenes.
Bring it up.
They were talking about, he said it could have been like years and those people were being kept alive. But I thought it was recent when I first watched it because I forgot about that ground zero stuff. But I think you're right. Because in the behind the scenes, they were like, don't tell anyone. But obviously everyone knew. So
Yeah. Love that scene. That was a powerful scene.
I love that they're introducing spores as well.
Same.
Yeah.
Big
and I think
same.
This is a good way to do it. Like only if shit has been kind of festering in the dark for a long time, like closed off.
Totally.
As you said, ground zero, like that's when we get spores.
Yep. Love it. I love it. I love the spores. Bring the spores back. The spores are here. Seeing the visual spores too, I thought was so cool. Like that imagery, Guillermo del Toro is weeping. He is weeping at that scene.
In the behind the scenes, Craig Mazin was like, you know, they've been in there for years, inhaling air and breathing out spores just over and over and over again.
Insane, dude.
Yeah.
Insane. Where's
Very,
the
very
Rat
scary.
King one of these days? It better be better than the Alien Queen. I've said that a million times. That was 1986. That was 1986. If you do not fucking blow the Alien Queen out of the water, fail. I'm telling you right now, Gabby, I will give the show a 0 out of 10 if the Rat King does not deliver. Huh?
I don't think we're seeing the Rat King this season.
Not this season, but all of this just
Yeah.
brought that to the forefront. And I was like, I'm putting all my chips on the Rat King for now the legacy of the show. Because as I said at the beginning, I'm just not feeling the emotions. And again, a full disclosure, Gabby, do you think it's because I've played the game so many times? But before you answer, every time I play the game, I still feel those emotions.
Yes.
Even on the 10th playthrough.
Same.
Yeah. But I'm just not feeling the... I guess I'm not really feeling the danger or the drive for revenge, which I think are two key pillars of The Last of Us Part 2. I'm not feeling any kind of revenge at all. We definitely got a little bit at the end, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
But then on the other end, I'm just not really feeling any of the danger.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling the danger, especially... well, I think I am feeling the danger, but I'm not as scared of people dying as I am playing the game.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not yet feeling the revenge.
Yeah.
It seemed like in this episode, Nora was just kind of a caught in the crossfire a little bit, like
Honestly.
a casualty, instead of I'm targeting, I want to kill every single person
it
who
is so,
was in that room.
Yes, you're so right. That is such a good point. And it honestly, after this episode, I'm like, so is Dina actually Ellie? Honestly, Dina is more like Ellie in the game than this Ellie. And Dina is the brains, the smart, Dina is honestly running this show at this point, and Ellie is the sidekick. It is an entirely different vibe. These are two different characters.
Yeah.
Ellie in the game and Ellie in the show is it's a different universe, multiverse.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how motivated Dina and how active Dina is.
Sure.
That just works better in a TV show than it does in a game. Yeah. What did I... Hold on. Oh, heads up, chat. I watched this while the sun was high in the sky, so I couldn't see a lot of this episode.
Game of Thrones, dude. Game of Thrones vibes.
But it wasn't HBO. It was all me in my bright apartment. It's a blessing to have this much light in my house, but it means I can't watch TV during the day.
I'm sorry.
Oh, so one thing I did like that this episode addressed was how the apocalypse changes one's relationship with death, and how Dina and Ellie going on this journey, they both know that they could die together, one of them could die, they witnessed it so much that it's become commonplace in a way, but it's both commonplace and also very devastating at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I definitely am desensitized because of Walking Dead. Has just been doing that for 15 years straight. For real, real, just nonstop. In fact, the last complete aside, Gabby, I just wanted to tell you the last episode of Walking Dead Dead City ended with them walking into a zombie infested Central Park. Yes, next week. How am I more excited for Walking Dead than Last of Us? What the fuck?
Did they shoot it in New York?
Probably not.
How did they have access to Central Park? That's crazy.
Dude, it was sick. Anyway, Yeah.
Did you notice when they went into the like warehouse office thing? Did you notice there was a Mother's Day card on the desk? Yeah.
No. Fair. Great Easter egg. That's
Yep.
fantastic. That
Yep.
is so perfect. Yeah, so Dina and Ellie are just traveling through.
Mhm.
We, at this point, like we said last week, it's kind of just like we don't even need to keep track of like the game versus the show beat for beat for beat for beat because it is now like wildly remixing and abridging and cutting things. So like we don't get, the big Fedra gate, which is one of my favorite parts of getting to Seattle with Dina. We don't get there were other parts. We didn't get that. We didn't get like the free roam bank area, coffee shop stuff. They did get the record store last week, which was nice. But a lot of abbreviations and cuts. Obviously, it's a show versus
But they
a game.
add stuff too. Like we didn't know that much about Dina's backstory before.
Yeah, but I thought that hit harder in the game, in the synagogue. Like
Really?
Dina talking.
Oh yeah, I do like the synagogue. That's like one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah, and
game.
Dina talking about her sister, and it's like, dude, if somebody did that to like my sister, I would do exactly what you're doing, Ellie. I would fucking want to take them out.
Yeah.
And that just made me think of like the whole journey and just how Dina is the one that in the show feels like wants revenge more. And I just feel like we're really like a lot of people are talking about like missing the revenge aspect. I'm missing the like guilt trip selfishness of Ellie. Like Ellie only cares about the kill. And like that is just not coming across here whatsoever. And that is one of my favorite parts about that game is like we are now as the player like feeling kind of murky and feeling kind of gross by liking Ellie. Like Ellie is our hero, Ellie is our protagonist, and as that game goes on,
you mean when you're playing the game?
Yeah, when you're playing the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, Ellie, what are you doing? Like calm down or like, keep it chill. Like, don't be so selfish. Like, this woman is pregnant. Why are you putting everybody else at risk? And it just is not, none of that. I'm getting none of that. And like that, that is such a huge part of the story.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like, what do you think about Dina just kind of stealing the scenes here? Honestly, Dina is stealing the show. Steal is a bad word, but like to me, Dina is the star now. I'm sorry, Ellie. I'm sorry, Bella. Nothing personal, but like Dina has all the agency and like all the plot and the story and everything. She's
making all the difficult decisions.
Everything. Like Dina has all of the everything in this show, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Dina is the one who's making all the difficult decisions, and Ellie's just kind of like
going along. Ellie's the sidekick. I guess we're doing that now.
It's odd. But I mean, in contrast with that, like I loved Ellie at the end of this episode.
Yes.
With Nora, I loved that part.
Definitely.
But that I think more of who Ellie should be in the show came out.
Yeah.
Like, kind of sociopathic.
Yes.
Like, taking joy in, or not even necessarily joy, but being desensitized to violent, horrible things.
100%.
Yeah.
Bashing her leg in with a pipe. Like, helpless woman on the ground, beating her with a pipe. Whoa. Dude, just whoa. Insane. Yeah. And it is hard. I ask all the gamers out there to take a beat and to try to separate it from the show, or from the game, I mean. Because that scene in the game, again, like comparing some of these scenes to the game is a tough thing. Like we did it in episode 2 with Abby and Joel. and how much better like the lighting was and just the vibe of the game. And it's like maybe the game does those scenes better, but I still think the show does the scenes well. Like this scene with Nora, I thought was really well done. Her chasing her through, like that was good, dude. Dropping down in there, that shit was epic.
Yeah.
And all the spores everywhere that we saw, like that monument of spores. I thought that was super, super good.
Yeah, that was so cool. And like again, I mean, I think even when I'm not enjoying necessarily what is, or I'm just not connecting kind of with what's going on screen, like the show looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like all the locations are just a feast for the eyes.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. So again, they're going through Seattle and Dina's pregnant. So Ellie is like, holy shit, and asks Dina, like, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to keep going?
Or do you want to stay?
And then Dina is like, I'll do whatever you want. Like there's no right answer here. And she's like, I want to go. Like, let's keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
Good scene. But again, like we've been saying this whole time, a lot of Dina kind of leading the charge in a way, even though she let Ellie decide there. Before
and
that,
I like that she said there's no right choice
for sure.
Instead of there's no wrong choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even though Ellie was kind of like deciding there, Dina was the one that told the story right before that about I would do the same thing. I want revenge too. So it was like, okay, like you already said you want to, so like, okay, let's keep going. Basically, it wasn't Ellie being like, no, let's go. Because in the fucking game, again, dude, when Ellie finds out she's pregnant, there's like a little bit of annoyance. Like, oh, you're pregnant? What the fuck? Now what are we gonna do? Now I'm alone here and I have to do this on my own? Like, that is so much better storytelling.
Doesn't Dina know she's pregnant before they get to Seattle?
Yes. So that's why yes, and that's why Ellie is pissed. Or she thinks she's pregnant. Pretty much knows.
Right.
If you read the journal also, because there's the time jump, like when in the game when you get to Seattle, if you read the journal across their travel, it's like, Dina's not feeling well. Dina's throwing up. She says she's fine, whatever, blah, but like hinting at it as the journey is going. But yeah, just the nuance there of like so many more Ellie feelings of like, congratulations, you're pregnant. That is really scary. You're pregnant. Fuck you for being pregnant. There's like 10 more emotions in the game. And it's like,
yeah. And like, it's coming through that Ellie wants to like protect Dina in the show, but and I want that, but I also want the other stuff. Like I want her being like, what the fuck? Why did you come here if you're pregnant?
Yeah. Straight up.
And in the behind the scenes, they were talking about how like, oh, now that Jesse's here, like, which we'll talk about, but now that Jesse's here, like, there's this love triangle, and he challenges kind of Ellie's masculinity, like whatever, because he's the father of Dina's child. And I'm like, okay, I didn't see that. I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get those emotions.
Like, I didn't. Like, that's cool if you think that was happening, but that's not in the text of the show.
I agree. What a read, Gabby. Yeah. Yep, I agree 100%. So before we get to Jesse, though, on their journey, they decide to go through a warehouse.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. I loved it. The stalkers here were next level. Seeing 1, and then seeing 3, and then seeing fucking 10. Like, yes. That was the moment. That was the one moment where I actually did feel the danger, where it was like, wow, you guys are boxed in right now. Holy crap, you are outnumbered. We just talked about how like using a gun was the last resort because you're in enemy territory. What are we going to do here? incredible sequence. What do you think of that?
Yeah. I wrote during this, wow, I wish I could see this episode. Because I definitely like I could see some stuff,
Yeah.
but the glare on my screen was so bad.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
We cannot do this again.
Damn it. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Damn it.
Yeah. But it was still like it was really still scary, still effective. I was like, anxious about, even though I know what
The
happens,
eyes.
I was anxious about them. The eyes?
The eyes, dude. The stalker eyes. Just like so intense.
I didn't see that.
Oh.
Wait, like two like dots in the dark? Is
They're
that what it
just
looks
kind of
like?
like glowing in the distance.
I couldn't
Yeah,
see
a
that
little
at
bit.
all.
Damn it. Yeah. It's sick. Tonight, boot it up tonight. Check out the eyes.
Yeah, I'm actually
It'll give you
think I'm gonna watch
nightmares.
that scene again.
Yeah. It was intense. And then, of course, all hell is breaking loose. They take him out, dude. Ellie is getting mobbed. Dina is like nervous as hell, about to get munched, and somebody shows up. Immediately, I think it's, oh shit. Are they going to remix this part with a part that we skipped? The school when Ellie and Dina have to escape from Jordan. That we've just like skipped. We're skipping over all that.
Oh.
We're skipping that whole shit.
Right.
When fucking Ellie like stabs him, Dina rescues Ellie. Remember? Dina like comes through the ceiling, crashes through.
I do remember that.
I was like, oh, are we gonna get
when the ground explodes and the horse fall? Is that part? Doesn't the horse like get blown up? Yeah.
Good call. Yes. So
That's
then,
crazy.
so I was like, oh, we're going to remix back and we're going to get caught now and then have to escape.
Right.
They didn't do it. They just had somebody come. It wasn't Joel. Trailers, game trailers, OG trailers. It wasn't Joel saving us.
But, they
good
did that
troll,
on
Naughty
purpose.
Dog.
Yeah. In the behind the scenes, they're talking about like, oh, when you see the silhouette, it looks like Joel.
Fuck you, Naughty Dog.
What do you mean?
Dude.
I liked that it looked like Joel.
I heard like a month ago, Druckmann was like, yeah, I regret doing that. The fake trailer with Joel grabbing her. He's like, I regret doing that. Like, that shit's lame, dude. Let's have a fake trailer of Joel grabbing her, but in the game it's actually Jesse. Like, that's annoying.
I didn't really care either way, but
yeah.
I liked in the show, we're talking about the show now.
Yes.
I liked in the show that the silhouette kind of looked like Joel.
Yeah.
Because like we know he's dead. It's not a like he's confirmed dead. We see his grave and we see his dead body.
Yeah.
So it's not a troll or anything. It just is like Ellie in this moment of trauma and this moment of panic is like flashing back to being a much younger girl.
Yeah.
And like when Joel would come to save her no matter what.
Totally.
Now she's on her own.
They both thought it was over right there for sure.
Yeah.
100%. And then, of course,
Jesse,
our favorite of this season, underutilized Jesse. Here he comes to save the show.
Like, I'm so happy.
He was amazing here. His 7 minutes, 10 out of 10. Like, loving Jesse. Every minute we get of Jesse, so good. So then they escape that encounter, and of course, all the noise they've made. So the wolves come.
Yeah.
They have some, escape, chase, whatever. I thought of Snake Plissken, Escape from New York, for some reason. Yeah, I thought of it. I don't know why it popped into my brain. I was like, I'm getting some Escape from New York vibes here.
Sure. It was more like Children of Men, I think.
Sure. I was like, yo, cue some John Carpenter music here. Like, that'd be sick. And I loved all this. I loved all this. Them running into the park. And the wolves being like, no.
Yeah, we don't go in there. We don't go in there.
Nope.
That was cool. Yeah.
So of course we know it's like, here we go, dude.
Fight time.
Here we fucking go. And yeah, we hear some whistles, and I love it too. This is one of those fun moments where, as a game player, you just get a little Easter egg of like, y'all shouldn't be making so much fucking noise because we know what's coming. You know, they're like walking through
Dramatic
like,
irony.
Yeah, exactly. They're walking through all loud and shit. Jesse's all pissed. They're like, bah, 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 bah. It's like, guys,
they're not coming in the park.
keep it down. Keep it down. And then, of course, the game moment. In the game, you know, Ellie gets shot.
Wait, who got shot? I couldn't see.
Dina. Shot in the leg.
Okay.
Right in the leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but it was like so murky.
Yeah. She gets shot in the leg. Jesse picks her up. They run off. Ellie is like, I'm going to draw their fire or whatever. And Ellie runs off. Yeah. So they separate. Good way to separate them there, I thought.
Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like, I mean, I'm hoping kind of in next episode, if we return to the theater and we have more like Jesse, Ellie, Dina, like I hope we do get some of that kind of romantic triangle, those romantic triangle moments, because even though Dina is solidly with Ellie, she's not going to change her mind. Like, you know, Ellie is in a fragile state, and I imagine she might feel like threatened, and I think that's just an interesting thing to explore.
Totally. Like those moments in the game when Jesse is in the theater with Dina and Ellie's like, I'm gonna go over there. And they're like palling her, and it's like, I'm gonna go. It's just like, this is awkward. Yeah. Good call, dude. Yes. Love that. Okay, so
oh wait, we were talking about the Starfight still, right?
Yeah, just briefly that Jesse then, again, we're talking about remixing this whole story from the game. Jesse mentions that he and Tommy leave together to go hunt Ellie and Dina down to bring them back. Mm-hmm.
And they said they got to the theater. I don't know how they tracked them there, but they got to the theater and then
yeah, what? All right.
I'm not asking questions. They got to the theater, and then I assume it was like they were like, oh, we're gonna split up. You go to this location, I'll go to this location. Like they could have gone to either of these places. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because otherwise Tommy would be there with him, you know? Yeah. Like why
The finale, I'm going to tell you right now, the finale of this show, not the next week, but the week after, I'm telling you right now, Tommy MVP 100%, Diego Luna 100%, star of the episode. Calling it now.
Yeah. I loved the Seraphite with the sickle. That was fucking awesome. Gutting that dude, like lifting him up and just letting him drag himself on the sickle.
That was some Mortal Kombat fatality shit.
That was
Gabby. Yeah, dude. That was sick. That guy was nuts. Because of course we remember Emily Swallow from the OG trailer with Abby later on. Her presence is just so commanding for such a small role. And then, this guy just, I hope we see him again, dude. I hope this guy's the final boss of the season. Let's go. Let's fight this guy.
That was crazy. Wait, also, I love that they were talking about Amish people and they didn't know what Amish people, or Ellie didn't know what Amish people were. I liked that. She's like, what the fuck are Amish people?
He's like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah. Like, of course Amish people wouldn't exist anymore, you know? Like, yeah.
Dawn Tays Hall, great point, brings up, I can't believe they cut Ellie's line of, because I was waiting for it. You're so right. I can make it quick or so much worse. I was waiting for that line, dude. I was waiting for it. Just like we missed Jesse's be smart about it. You know, they're just cutting some of those iconic lines for no reason, but then they'll have other scenes that are one for one dialogue. I don't get it. I don't know what Craig Mazin's on.
I think there was a lot of stuff going on in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
That it didn't necessarily need that line.
Sure.
It also may have been there at some point and they cut it out, you know?
Sure. Great point.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, great point. Okay, what else? So Ellie goes the other way, Gabby, and then finds the hospital. And like you were saying earlier, instead of like this hardcore revenge mission, it's like, oh, I found it.
Yeah.
All right. Happy accident. Cool.
Oh, great. Nora's in here. She can tell me where Abby is.
Yeah. Like, what? Yeah, it just felt a little contrived there. It just felt a little convenient, just a little. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they were on their way to the hospital.
True. Fair point. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It just is kind of. It's just. You know what I said right when it ended was, man, this show's kind of all over the place. That's what I said in my brain.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is kind of all over quality and storyline and just everything. It just I don't know.
Yeah. Because then I liked everything in the hospital.
Same.
Everything in the hospital. Like
Same. Great scene.
Wait, do you remember when she goes actually no, we'll go to her. Okay, never mind. I'll talk about that in a second. So she she gets up to where Nora is.
Yeah.
And I love that Nora is still a bitch.
Oh, hell
She's
yeah.
like, oh, he fucking
deserved. Oh, it's my favorite.
I love
Every time
that.
It's my favorite. Every time. Every single time I get to that part, I'm just like, yeah, dude, tell her, Nora. But also, I'm going to kill you dead.
Exactly.
Straight
Like,
up.
I will relish hitting you with a pipe, but
Yes.
also that was badass.
Yes.
You'd be like, you might shoot me, and I'll tell you in your last moments, your dad was a fucking bitch.
Yeah. Like, Nora, you have a point, and you're pretty much right, but I'm going to get you.
I don't remember how she like distracts Ellie in the game.
Same thing. Hits the
bleach.
Instead of the bleach, though, it's just like the pan of scalpels and utensils, instruments. Yeah. She runs off. Yeah, I think Chaser. Yeah, same. Pretty much same.
Yeah.
Really good. Real good. Except also, and of course they cut that. That makes sense to cut that part a little bit. In the game, people chase you down there. They follow you in. And you have a little encounter. They all have
masks.
Yeah, you have a little encounter with them and the infected.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get through to the deeper part where Nora is. Because Nora went through like a deeper part and locked it. And you gotta like jam the door or whatever.
And so crazy that she knows she knows she's gonna die,
Yeah.
But she's like, hopefully I can kind of kamikaze this. Kill myself and this girl. Yeah. Do you remember when all the people were stuck in the wall? It reminded me of this. Do you remember my trick about the infected in the wall for the game?
Oh my god. Yeah, what was
it again? Do you remember it?
I remember you telling me this. What was it again?
If they're wearing jeans.
If they're wearing jeans.
They're gonna jump out of the wall.
God. That's so good, Gabby. Holy fuck.
So anytime they were wearing like, it was like, actual person in the wall, like I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna jump out.
Incredible. Tastin95 says it reminded me of Alien, and I'm gonna be an elite snob and say it actually reminded me of Aliens. That's me. Yeah. Just to be a snob, Tastin95, just to be a snob, just to be an alien elitist. Absolutely Aliens vibes. For sure, 100%. Yes. Yeah. Totally. Some cocoon action. Like, where are the face huggers? Where are they? Let's get some chest bursters out here going. Kill me. Yeah.
Kill me.
Just great imagery. Again, I just want to give another moment to really celebrate that imagery. I mean, that is goddamn fucking god tier, dude. I mean, that is the best of the best. That is the best of the best for horror aesthetics and props and makeup and lighting and every single thing about like making something for art, like top tier. Top.
It was disgusting.
Disgusting and awesome.
I wrote disgusting in big letters in my notes, like so nasty, but in the best way. It looked like goopy and vegetal, but also
goopy red pile, maybe.
Goopy. Goopy red pile.
So good. So good.
Yeah, and oh my god, Tati Gabrielle, she is like
Have you seen the 100?
No.
The best. She's the best.
She is amazing.
Oh, she's the best
I
in
cannot
100.
wait for Intergalactic.
Same. Just give me
She is
Intergalactic
just-
and GTA 6 already. Hook
Yeah,
me up.
yeah. Where is it?
Hook me up.
Clock's ticking. Naughty Dog.
Yeah. Seriously.
I just loved that whole moment of her realizing that Ellie is immune and being like making this connection between this guy who killed. Wait a second. How did she not know that?
She probably thought
she-
Ellie was a Seraphite or something in the moment. That was
No,
my
because
read. Didn't have the look.
She knew Ellie she recognized her from when they killed Joel. She
Yeah,
was
so how
holding her
does
down.
that make sense? If she recognized her that when she killed Joel, but she's like, you're the immune girl? Maybe she thought she was just Joel's companion or friend. Like,
Yeah, maybe she never saw her. Everyone in the hospital did die, so maybe she
yeah,
never
that good
saw
point
her.
though, Gabby.
Yeah.
That's a little. She would know there, dude. She would know. And again, you seriously nailed it. You nailed my entire problem with this entire show. Right there. Right fucking there. Unless anyone else has a good explanation for that, Gabby, you just nailed the entire reason that this show is a problem for me is because they over-explain everything. The show is expository dialogue, the show, dude. It is so bang, bang on your head like this, there's no
Yeah.
reading things.
I mean, I think it should have been instead of, oh, you're her, which makes it seem like, oh, I know that there was an immune person, but I don't know where she is now.
Mhm.
It should be like, oh my God, it's true.
Yeah.
Instead of you're her. Just it's true.
Yeah.
There was an immune girl. Like that all happened.
Yeah. As far as they know,
yeah.
Dina could have been the girl, says that Japanese dude. Sure.
I
Sure.
guess.
A little bit there, sure. A little bit there, sure. But yeah, just a little. In the first episode, the group say they don't know if the immune story was true or not. But I agree with the exposition this season. Yeah. So they didn't know 100%.
But the way she said it, like instead of
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, you're her," which implies we know there's an immune girl out there,
Yeah.
and I'm just confirming that you are her,
Yeah.
rather than it's true. Oh, I believed,
Yeah.
or I wasn't sure, but now, oh, there's confirmation. I'm seeing a girl breathe in these spores.
And also, what other reason would
yeah.
there have been for Joel to have massacred everybody? He just decided to go there and kill everyone? Like, clearly they brought the immune person there. Like, I know
Right.
Marlene kept it close to the vest, but like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying it. They were just random girls to them until Nora saw Ellie immune to the spores. But they were
No, that's not
there.
true.
They
They
were
weren't random
there.
girls.
They were there when Joel
was
died.
killed.
Yeah. They were
They're
fucking
not
in the
random
room.
girls.
Yeah.
Like
They're not random. Yeah, I don't know there. That one's a little sus. I'm gonna give it 2 more episodes to maybe, see some other.
wait, okay.
Here we go.
Okay. I understand. So if they thought Ellie and Dina were random girls in the beginning
Sure.
when they first meet them, they
Yeah.
thought they were just random girls who were there with Joel.
Of course.
Yeah. That makes more sense. So yeah, okay. That makes a little more sense. I still think she should have said, "Oh my God, it's true. There was someone who was immune."
Yeah.
Yeah. And
All right. I'll
Bombird
let it
88
slide.
said
I'll let it slide.
said having Ellie know Abby's reason for killing Joel is so dumb, but we know that in the game she knows.
Not till later.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I think she like assumes, but it's not confirmed. Yeah, she never knew.
Because remember, she goes back to the hospital. There's a flashback where she goes back
That's-
to the hospital.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with like Abby killing Joel. That flashback, that's a separate, like that's her and Joel trauma, unrelated to any of the other Abby revenge. Like, she doesn't know Abby is having revenge until later on.
Oh, okay. But then what is she learning at the hospital?
That Joel lied to her. That's when she finds out the lie. Because Joel's been lying the entire time after she's been living in Jackson.
Surely she also finds out that he killed everyone at the hospital. Then.
Yeah, she's always assumed she needed 100% confirmation, so that's what that flashback is. She goes there personally. She had never been back since that day. She goes there personally to finally find out that Joel lied. She needed 100% confirmation because she trusted him 1 billion%, and he looked her in the eyes 1,000,000 times and was like, no, everything's fine, no.
But I'm saying that whole ride back from Colorado, the second time, like, she must have gone into the hospital. She knows he killed everyone in that hospital.
No.
No?
No. Of course not.
Why wouldn't she
was
find
gassed.
that out?
She was gassed. She woke up in the car. She was gassed.
Right, but why wouldn't she find that out later when she goes to the hospital as an older girl?
She did. That's the scene.
So she knows Joel killed everyone in the hospital.
Yes.
So she wouldn't know necessarily that he literally killed Abby's dad.
No, and then she assumes somebody would want revenge. They talk about that the whole journey. They're like, who were they? They were like, I don't know. Joel crossed a lot of people. That is a specific line in the game. I don't know. Joel crossed a lot of people. Who could it be? Who could it be? There was never any 100%.
Yeah. I think I'm saying that she doesn't not know that he killed, like, the surgeon who was gonna. It's not like a plot point that she's like, oh my god, he killed the surgeon who was gonna, cut my brain open and kill me. Like, that's not part of it, But because she doesn't, as who just said it? Jamakov just said, I don't think it matters whether or not Ellie knows why Abby did it. She killed Joel, and that's all that matters. And I think that's true.
100%. Doesn't even matter. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, because Benson, we're talking about the show versus the game.
Yeah.
But I liked that she confirms that she knows in this moment. I liked that. I thought that was scary.
It was scary.
Because in the game, she doesn't know that whatever, what I just said, the whole thing about Abby.
Yeah.
But she does know he massacred a bunch of people.
Yeah.
In order to save her.
Yeah.
And she's like, and she knows he crossed a bunch of people and he probably fucking deserves it.
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't give a fuck. You also deserve it.
Yeah. We've all done bad things. This is the
He deserves it. You also deserve it.
Yeah. If you're alive in the post-apocalypse, you've done terrible things, period. That's the whole point.
And if someone comes to kill you, you probably deserve it.
Yeah. Straight up.
But that's not the point. Like, deserving is not the point,
Deserve's got nothing to do with it.
What's that from?
Unforgiven. Come on now.
Oh, sorry. I've seen it once.
You know this. Yeah. Just not feeling
But you like that last scene, or you didn't?
I did, but I wasn't obsessed. And I really want to say that I am proud of my ability to separate pieces of media, game, movie, book, whatever. They're all different. I want to say that before I say that the scene in the game was more powerful for me.
With Nora
and Ellie. Again, I'm fully convinced that Ellie and that Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2 is her performance is Ashley Johnson is underrated. I'm not even kidding. I honestly think it's like the best of all time. It's like
underrated.
I think
it's incredible.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I liked I love the game version.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say I liked the TV version better in any way,
Yeah.
but I do like what they added. I think it was interesting. It's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
To have us know that she knows.
Yeah.
This early, and because it's so much more brutal in a way for her to be like, yeah, I know I'm a psychopath and I'm going to beat the fuck out of you with a lead pipe.
Yeah.
And
it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. Again, that's a good setup for the rest of the season and rest of the series, is because this is such a pivotal moment. This is when you've crossed that line, Ellie. You have now crossed the line into revenge and torture and murder.
Right.
Like
now the revenge that you have promised and that you've talked about for all this time, now you have made the decision to enact that revenge.
Yeah.
And you've taken that big step of killing a human being.
Yeah.
Like she's obviously killed people before, but way more infected.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the time in the post-apocalypse, like especially now that it's so far from like that initial moment of outbreak day or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of what they're doing this far out is like mercy killings, like people who
or
have
self-defense
been infected or
they get
self-defense.
attacked.
Exactly.
They get attacked. Like Ellie's been attacked
Exactly.
for most of the show. So up until this point, she set out to go kill Nora instead of like, someone's attacking Joel.
It's
I gotta get him.
offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
It's
sure.
offense rather than defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get the 10 out of 10 stinger at the end when Joel walks in. Hey, kiddo. Missed you, bro. Miss you, Pedro. Miss you, Joel. Miss you, Pedro. All the time. I miss you, man.
Pressing.
I miss you. I just want to spend time with you, Joel. I just want to spend time with you.
So I think next episode's gonna be in just a flashback the whole time.
So that scares me too. Is that if next episode is an entire flashback, and then episode 7 is the end of this season, like this season has no beginning, middle, and end, dude. What is even the season? I'm so confused.
I think
from like
it's
an arc.
more like a half of a season.
And now we have to wait 2 years for the next season. I've heard 2027 rumors going around. Yes. This is fucking insane, dude. Like,
that's tough.
What is even going on?
That is tough.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just torn.
Maybe it won't be an entire episode, a flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little treading water a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanna love it. There's highs and lows. I loved the last one. And I love the first one. 1 and 4 so far have been my absolute favorites.
I liked this one.
This one was good.
I think more than you did.
Okay. For sure. Yeah, I'm just a little torn, Gabby. Just a little torn. Any other closing comments or
let me see.
ruminations?
Let me look at my notes. I said can't wait for Intergalactic.
Can't wait. Industry defining. Yo, Andor though. It's honestly probably like affecting my Last of Us watch. Because it's like this is supposed to be prestige TV. This is the S tier of the highest budget, highest quality show.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, when I watch Andor, every minute I'm just fucking like crying about how good it is.
Yeah.
And again, this is always going to be a different watch when you are so intimately familiar with the story already. Of course there's going to be less stakes because we know what happens. So naturally there's going to be less stakes. There's naturally...
You know what happens in Andor.
Mostly, but we're also learning about a lot of stuff we didn't know.
I know.
And it has such impact when it hits. You're like, whoa, dude. And,
for
and
Andor, it's dramatic irony.
Yeah.
And for Last of Us, it's we just know the story already because we played the game.
and
Yeah.
they're just like making a lot of changes in The Last of Us versus like Andor is just like kind of filling in, dropping things in like puzzle pieces where it's like, oh, cool. Yeah. So not to compare the two, but I do personally think it might be affecting my enjoyment of quality, you know?
Very possibly.
Yeah.
Very possibly.
And again, because we've played the game before and so many times, that was our first, it was a game first. So we're just naturally as humans a little more attached to that, How many times
But
do you hear
also,
Brandon
like-
Jones, some fucking book snob? Shout out to all the book snobs out there that are reading the books and then seeing the movie. And they're like, well, in the book, actually, in the book, this person does this. That's what I sound like now as a game player.
I mean, but here's the thing. You went to film school and I went to TV school. So
We're dispassionate.
We both have... Well, that's not what I was
Not
gonna say.
dispassionate,
We
but
both-
we're...
we have the ability to separate the
Exactly.
game from the TV show. Like when we're talking about like, oh, in the game it was this, in the TV show it's this, like
Analytical.
we're not it's not a like compare and contrast homework assignment. It's like we're literally just saying what the difference is and why we prefer one to the other.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not a... Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I won't say it's objective, but we're
acknowledging our bias in a way. That's what I try to do.
And
I acknowledge it.
I'm not necessarily primed to have a bias towards the game.
Mhm.
Like if the TV show was better, the TV show would be better.
Absolutely. Say hello, Bill. Like straight up,
Yeah.
master class episode.
Like, yeah, they're just different. It's not...
Yeah.
I know how to... Yeah, we know how to separate our...
Separation
our
of church and
biases.
state.
Okay. The church being the game and the state being... Yeah.
All right. Only 2 more episodes, Gabby. I'm a little nervous.
This
2
one
more.
was also kind of a short one. It was like 40-something minutes. so I
Yeah,
put
it
in an hour.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we love to shout out our Lord and Savior, Jesse. Shout out. More Jesse, please. Get some more Jesse in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse rolling up
we
with a
bring-
freaking
Can
assault
we bring
rifle.
Jesse in here?
Yeah, can we get Jesse
Bring
in here?
Jesse in here?
Yeah. Bring him in here, please. And Tommy, please. Let's get some
Get some Gabriel Luna in
Yeah,
here.
please, let's
I think
go.
he's the next... This probably means nothing to you, but the next episode of How Did This Get Made, I think Gabriel Luna is the guest because he loves the show.
Sick.
And he like Instagrammed himself at the show backstage, so I think he's the guest, which is
Very cool.
So much fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Terminator Dark Fate. Also Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The best ever, chat. The best ever.
He's Ghost Rider?
Yes.
Is he ever going to be in the movies?
I pray every day, Gabby. I light a candle and I say a prayer that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one day will be recognized because he is part of that recognition. Is that a word? He is part of that being recognized.
Recognition.
Yes, he is part of that recognition. Exactly.
He's a star.
Hell yeah. I
He
agree.
is. He's a star. Young Mazzino's a star. Yeah.
Freaking great cast. Seriously, I know a lot of people are throwing shade at Bella. That is unacceptable.
She's
That is
great.
fucking bullshit. She's a 10 out of 10. If
She's a
anything,
great actor.
how is there no criticism towards Craig Mazin? Like, come on, dude.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Like, not for this to be a Craig Mazin like throwdown, but like the words, like they are doing what they can with the words given to them. Come on, dude. If you have a fucking problem with the storytelling, it's the writing, not the acting.
That's also
In my opinion.
yes, but sometimes shows like this are like studio noted to death, especially if they're over explained, like
Sure.
a lot of this is.
Yeah.
And we know Warner Brothers is not cool, so the fact that it's
Yeah.
like this may very well be a Warner Brothers issue and not a Craig Mazin issue.
Totally.
Um,
Chernobyl's the best show of all time.
yeah, exactly. So we don't necessarily.
Yeah.
We won't necessarily put that all on Craig Mazin. It could
Totally.
easily. I've heard studio notes that would make your head spin. Like I've heard studio notes that made no sense.
Oh no.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and just imagine, like, before we sign off here, just imagine you've never played the game and you just finished this episode and you're like, what the hell are the Seraphites and the wolves? Like, what even Isaac and the Seraphites and the you're like, what? What? And there's 2 episodes left, one of which is going to be a huge flashback, probably. Like,
I mean, we don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
We didn't watch.
There's still like 2 hours max left. 2 hours to go. You're going to wrap all this shit up in 2 hours?
Could be more. Could be more. Who knows? Who's to say?
I think they released the runtimes before the season started, and no like episode was longer than an hour. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it feels like half a season. It feels like it's gonna be half a season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So far, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. High hopes, mid expectations.
High hopes, mid expectations. Exactly.
Here's the thing: it's already so much better still than any other video game adaptation. So,
I think. Hold on.
Yeah.
I really like Cyberpunk Edge Runners. But hold, that's different. That's different. Yeah.
But that's also a side story, right?
Yeah,
like it takes place in the universe.
For a straight up adaptation, Gabby, I think you are 100% correct. For a straight up, like we are adapting this game / story.
Yeah. Like, wait, I want to go back really quick to my favorite book. I'm defending again our ability to separate game and TV show.
Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's the first one I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
Love the book.
Yeah.
Read the book first. Also, love the movie.
Hell yeah.
They're very different.
Hell
but
yeah.
I will defend the movie to my dying breath. Same with the book.
Sick.
Second example, Series of Unfortunate Events. My favorite books
there
ever.
You go.
The movie is awful. But the TV show on Netflix is awesome.
There you go.
And I will defend both to my dying day. And I can acknowledge the ways that it's different. And I understand why it's different. Because again, I went to TV school.
Absolutely.
I have a degree.
Absolutely.
So,
you're no amateur.
I'm no amateur.
You're not just spouting nonsense. You're not just spouting nonsense.
No, I know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. You know who else knows what they're talking
and
about?
So do you.
Exactly. Well, I wasn't going to say that. But
what were you going to say?
I was going to say the death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil. We become vulnerable to the appetite of whatever monster screams the loudest.
Are you reading that?
Andor is the best show ever made. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right, everybody.
Yep.
Last of Us. Still 2 more to go. There's still hope. I have hope. There have been really high highs, really low lows. Where are the Shamblers?
But even the lowest of lows, Huber, aren't even that low.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Worst, this show is a 7 or an 8. At worst, worst.
Its worst moment is like, okay, fine.
Yeah, still quality, for sure. And I still enjoy every second. But I while I enjoy every second, I'm just not. It's more like popcorn rather than like, wow. You know what that's the separation of like my favorite obsessions versus swimming in sevens, where it's like, oh yeah. I love this. I love it so much. Oh, versus like,
yeah.
And I haven't really felt that. Yeah. I felt that in the Isaac interrogation scene.
Same.
Where I was just like,
Same.
Oh my God, yes. And like the Joel therapy scene. Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
And the stalker
a lot of stuff
battle.
in the first season too.
Oh, season 1, incredible. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I don't know. Where are the Shamblers? That was my question. Where are the Shamblers? Season 3, need more budget, I guess.
They have so much budget.
No Hillcrest. Like Hillcrest gone. I know it's just like gameplay shit, but like still iconic imagery of The Last of Us, you know? It's iconic imagery for that game. I don't know. No big deal though. No big drama. You want to cut just gameplay parts out? That's cool. Again though, every time we talk about those cuts, Gabby, you gotta have justification for the cuts, and you have to make the other things great. That, you know, like we've cut all this.
No cuts.
No cut.
Do you know what that's from?
The Ghibli shit. We've cut all this. We've cut all this, so let's make sure this is amazing because we've cut all this out. So this shit better be good. We're cutting this. Let's make this good. And it's like,
yeah, I'm not feeling the kind of balance like I did in the first season, where it's like, okay, we cut this stuff, but in order to make up for that, in order to make up for that, we're adding things that are kind of missing from the game, or just, don't make sense as if they were in the game.
Yeah.
But in this, I'm not feeling the like, okay, we took this part out, but we're adding this stuff in.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess they added a lot of stuff in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But again, it still felt like treading water. This whole season has felt like treading water.
Totally.
Like we're just waiting to get to the interesting stuff.
We were so relieved in season 4 when we broke free of Jackson's shackles. And now
Season 4?
Episode 4.
Episode 4. Oh.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're free of Jackson. And it's like,
yeah.
Yeah. We'll see though. Again, 2 more. And our Lord and Savior Pedro is coming.
He's back.
He's back. He's back next week. Tune in. Also,
he's back this week.
He's back this week. Also, tune in tomorrow for the 3-episode finale event of Andor. I know this is a Last of Us spoiler mode. Whatever, dude. 3 episodes tomorrow. Andor is over forever. That is it. It is done. Be there or be
forever?
Square. Yeah, 2 seasons. That's it. Done. They said that before the show even aired.
Like that.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, everybody. Any closing comments, Gabby? I'm going to sign us off.
No.
Nope. We love you, Last of Us.
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode activated.